Got to get a video of the breakfast here in Lula, because we're here because one of our, this nice little cute place here.
It's cute. We come and
It's
get,
adorable.
people say, I mean, Jim will tell you, their Philly cheesesteak could put up against any Philly cheesesteak.
We're here with some of our subscribers who invited us to Lula to do some filming. And they've got us breakfast. Awesome. So we're up here in Lula. Like I said, some of our subscribers said you got to come up to Lula. So here we are. Now, what's the story there? We'll learn about this story, and we're going to head in. The Historical Society maintains this old city hall and jail, and we get to go inside because we know people.
This J.D. Adams is my great-great-grandfather that owned
On your
the
mom's
store.
side,
On my
right,
mom.
the Adams family. All right. They didn't carve your name into the mayor wall yet?
No.
Should I come up here with a Sharpie and add that in?
So,
Oh gosh, he scared me for a minute there.
yeah, he scares everybody.
I bet.
Stipulations by the judge.
It's a big railroad town, so we've got an old conductor guy here. So when do you bring him out for the festivals?
He stays home.
He stays here.
Yeah, he
Cool.
fell apart pretty easily.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
And you're
old
from
typewriters.
1920, So it's pretty fragile too.
Yeah.
It's a bit messy in here.
Oh, that's fine. It's organic. That's what I like to call it. So Lula was established in 1873, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's because the Richmond-Danville Railroad made its way. And here in Georgia, all the little towns along the rail line. So that's how they started, because of the railroad. So yesterday we were in Norcross and we talked about the Richmond-Danville Railroad there. It came 20 miles to Norcross and stopped. And then it made its way north, all the way to Washington, D.C. eventually.
Right.
And this is one of the towns. And this is Mr. Jim, one of our subscribers who used to be the mayor here. But so here we are, he's going to show us around. What did you find, Mark? So that's Telegraph. And this is, would have been the old switchboard.
That would have been switchboard, not from the railroad, but from the first exchange here in Lula.
Cool. Pretty neat stuff. Tapping out the stuff. Neat. Is that the caboose that's...
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the story of the caboose, right?
I've got it here. Big railroad town. March 8th of 1923 is a day Lulans memorialized with this stone. On that day, Sheriff Villis Martin and his deputy Jack Bryant attempted to arrest a man named Bob Hope, who had gotten into a heated argument with local shopkeeper Morris Leaf. Leaf had accused Hope's daughter of breaking an ink pen. I suppose the shopkeeper believed in the phrase, "If you break it, you buy it," but Hope disagreed. Hope resisted arrest and drew a gun from under his very long coat. He hit Sheriff Martin, who returned fire only to shoot his own deputy, Jack Bryant. Both officers were killed. That's not the only gunfight here in Lula, however. Many stories in the old newspapers reveal a bawdy little town that is hard to envision in quaint Lula today. It seems, though, most of the arguments then revolved around whiskey and women.
Actually,
Given a year and 1 day sentence because he pleaded self-defense. I like that Firestone sign. Is that Bush when he did the whistle stop?
Yes.
Yeah, the little Norfolk Southern engine. Neat, neat. All right, lead away. Hey guys, we found the key, the missing key to the jail. Woohoo! And is it Skylar?
It's Skylar.
Skylar says he's never seen a bunch of people more excited to go to jail, but we are. A little hill here.
That's what I was about to say. Most people went outside to go in.
It's the coming out part. So this has been a little tricky getting in here. Now what's attached to the building next door? That little business?
That's our, I believe that's the Mexican restaurant you're going to.
Oh,
I think.
okay,
I'm not sure.
okay. Oh
Yeah, I
Lord.
think that's next. Yeah,
Okay, I
think so.
gotcha.
I think so.
Woo! And boy, do we go on some adventures. And we're in. Oh boy. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. We're in. Does that light switch on?
Couldn't get it full.
Oh. I left my light
Hang on, I've got one more.
back at the house. Anybody turn on a flashlight on their phone?
I do.
There's a light in there.
This one's got a light. Look at this door. We are in the old jail up here in Lula. Oh, Mark, look at this. This one's got a light on. We're going to get a light going in the other one in just a minute. We're in Lula, Georgia, in the old jail. They're going to let us out for good behavior, we hope. And this is another one of the old windows. So there's another building that was built up against this now. Look at that cool door. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I knew you would love this.
Roll in there something. I don't know. There's, you ever seen it out on these walls?
Yeah.
Hey.
March 1925.
This is mostly probably vandalism, rioting. Some of it.
Some may have been. In Greenville, where we've gotten in the old jail, there was some stuff that she still got on the walls, that little prayers and things. Look at that. Oh, somebody started to break out. Look at that. Ooh, spider webs. Oh, you've got this whole wall. Oh, wow. So we don't know if this is graffiti or from some of the folks who stayed here. But either way, it's still a long time ago. 60 years, 61 years. Oh, look at the sketch. And graffiti has its place in the world as well. Like the trains. Really neat. Cool. Well, this was definitely worth the wait. Neat. There you go, Carson. Hulk smash. Oh, what is this?
Oh, they didn't know what I was doing.
Billy beer. That's Hulk.
That's an old Hulk.
Older than car.
Look at that old Hulk.
I put them out on the game machine in our gas stations about 2 days.
He would love that,
So
wouldn't
did you stick around for the complaint when the deputy arrived the other night? I was at Amanda's. Okay. When they came up there.
So back to the ghost you have upstairs. Tell me something. Tell me a good one.
Nothing that we have seen, but we've had people tell us they see like an energy vortex up there. Whatever
Oh, a
that
vortex. That's fun. I'd stay away from that.
is. Right, that's what she said.
Yeah. Anything ever? You've never heard anything, or
Things go missing and then reappear.
yeah, and then they
A
reappear.
lot, yeah. I mean, like t-shirts and like
they?
we
Things from here hadn't never been moved overnight or anything.
Yeah, that's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
it'll just be gone.
Oh.
You know, then you'll find it days or weeks later.
Oh, it's fun
Some of it
to.
we haven't found yet, have we? Yeah.
Cool.
So you have ghost shoplifters.
Ghost shoplifters, yeah.
Ghost
but it always
shoplifters,
comes back.
Yeah.
They always bring
Must
it
be the
back.
wrong
When
size.
they get tired of it.
They're just playing. What else is there to do in the afterlife but to tease the living, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Well, I heard rumor that there was a casket in the attic. Like
Next door.
Two doors down. Mason's Lodge is next door, but then next to that was the Chapman Building, I think's what they say that is.
Could have been years
Could-
ago, yeah.
Which ended up becoming Roy Gowder's
Roy
parts
Gowder's
store.
auto parts.
And then he's been out of that place for, gosh, 10 years at least? Maybe not quite that much.
Not that long, probably
Okay.
about 4 or 5.
4 or 5, okay. So Rawls Brothers, or local here, they bought it out to put their office in it.
Right.
Like 10 office personnel. And I guess they're gonna do something downstairs. But anyhow, they were, gotta clean everything out, redo the upstairs floors, the roof, everything. Lots of stuff was rotted.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'd heard a rumor there was a casket up there about a year ago. And when I met Josh, I walked in there to him. I says, "Hey, I'm Dave. I said, did you find a casket in here yet?" And he's like, "No." You know, kind of, you dummy. I was like, "Well, if you do, holler at me, all right?" And to the left, he's like, "Yeah, sure." And the next morning they come out from upstairs and they were carrying this little unit right here.
Oh, and I walked right past it. And it's got the glass.
Yeah, that's a summertime casket.
We were just talking about the glass.
That way you don't smell them, you just see them in the
You
summer.
just see them. Oh my goodness.
Now this was what
Wow. Can it open?
was in.
Oh my. Oh my. You saved the best for last, didn't you? Oh my goodness.
They had one more bull skull in it, but other than that, that's exactly how it was found.
Wow. That's incredible.
Now, after looking up the sternum here, where it's that kind of leather looking color,
Mhm.
that's the only clue in here that I could figure out what it was, but that's International Order of Oddfellows.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes.
So that must have been the International Order of Oddfellows Lodge up top back in
yeah.
the early 1900s. Because this style casket would have been gone away by about 1910.
Mm-hmm. Look at the edge of it. Incredible. Okay, I'm kind of feeling like this might have even outdone the jail. On the scale of jail to coffin, this is up there.
We could lock in some of the cells in the jail.
Boy, if you ever want to do a haunted jail tour, we're moving this over there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure.
We got an embalming table over there that's portable from the 1800s as well.
You have an embalming table.
It's Dr. Blood's is
Where
actually
is
the
it?
line.
It's here? Okay. So why didn't he tell this when I first walked in the door?
What did I say?
He was waiting.
You know, we only chose the elite places for this.
All right, so if the casket wasn't cool enough, now we have a portable embalming table. Oh my.
Is that the leg? Oh, that's the back. Okay. Let me get the legs.
We don't break it for us or anything.
Oh, it's just hard to open sometimes.
So they'd come to your house to relieve you of your bodily fluids before burial. And you can imagine the undertaker coming out to the house, setting this up. This is crazy.
Oh, well, I say this while we've got it that way. Blood's improved embalming board.
Blood's improved embalming board. Do you have a date on any of this? An idea or?
Around 1880.
About 1880.
My mama kept her scrubby SOS.
For more than 20 years, the board was sold. Gosh, I can't quite read it all. I'll zoom in on it and try to read it later. That is crazy. Special notice and directions.
How to
You
use.
see that? A how-to.
Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Let's see.
On top of it, yeah. You don't have to go any further with
Oh, let
it.
me just get this set.
Do you need help? Mark, can you help him? Here.
There we go.
Oh my.
Well, you can lay down on it. I'll just get you
No, 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 no. Wow. Okay, there it is. There she is.
It's got a real cool smell to it too. I got some people to smell it before.
I was about to do that.
Oh, yeah. I said, wait a minute.
And it was like, what? So if you need a body embalmed and you don't want the expense of a funeral director, you can come here to this cool shop in Lula, Georgia, and buy yourself a traveling, portable embalming table.
And it's got directions.
And it comes with directions.
That's always handy.
It's always handy.
Always.
So here are the little storefronts. The Masonic Lodge was here. And then up in this store, upstairs, is where they found that little casket that we just heard the story about. The Belton Methodist Cemetery, established in 1875. Well, we made it out to the cemetery here in Lula. We're going to get the grand tour.
And this is the marker for the gentleman.
This one here?
Yeah.
So we don't know if he's here.
No, he's somewhere in the vicinity.
He's somewhere near here, but they put this up for James Finch, born in 1904, died in 1929, Belton citizen, worked on the railroad and highway, traveled and performed in New York and Ohio as the fattest man in the world. And here he is in Lula.
Okay, so you got that.
Got that.
Our oldest is going to be the stand-up. Because my job when we come out here to clean up is I just pick up old
Well, and
old funeral
these
property.
could possibly be even
That's-
older.
Yes.
These are the older black graves.
Gotcha.
So these, a lot of these are probably dating about the same as these over here.
Yeah, true.
Look at the fog in the cemetery.
So here's like 1846 to 1920. But then okay. Here's one 1848 to 1886. This is old.
I'm guessing that person right there was a lawyer.
Hmm?
Oh, Woodsman of the World. That's
that
what.
what it is?
Yes, Woodsman of the World. They will do. And now that's unusual. Look, the pictures over here. Did they make a mistake? Look at this. There's the name. But look, the.
Yeah, they put it in there.
No, so there's probably one on both sides, Marilyn. So it could be husband and wife.
Oh.
See, there's names on both sides.
Okay.
So it's probably husband and wife.
Okay. Never seen one done that way.
Yep.
More than likely, that's the old ones inside here. But I like that too.
Another 1-year-old buried here, Henry. So Jim, what are some of the names of some of what you would consider the founding families? I see Head, Bowling. Bowling? Yeah, the Bowlings, this would have been some of the earliest families. Okay. Snelly is an older name?
Smelly, S-M-E.
Oh,
I
Smith.
just saw it.
Okay.
And the Hyder's been here for generations.
Hyder, okay.
What about the
'Cause-
Garrisons?
Oh, Garrison. Okay.
Yeah, when we were in Norcross yesterday, it was like reading street names and neighborhoods.
Yes.
Medlock, Simpson.
Yes, yes.
And you go through and, you know, Youngblood and all of that, so.
All the farms, so they got
Right.
roads named after the farms.
Yep. Nesbitt, a lot of Nesbitts.
Oh, there's Smelly right there. S-M-E-L-L-E-Y.
And I don't know if this is the Heads that used to own the mill, the Head Steel and Mill.
Huh. Okay,
There's a grain.
look at that. A millstone from the mill. They moved it over. It was so important to their family that they made it part of their final resting place. I have never seen, Maryland, I've been to a lot of graveyards and cemeteries, never seen something like this. Very unusual.
And Jim picks up on stuff like that.
Very cool. The Hyder family. Cool. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. That's pretty neat.
What?
The millstone.
Somebody started to clean that one.
Yeah. We're out with the president of the Historic Society.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Enjoying the rainy weather?
Of course.
She's the one who went through all that to get us into the jail. Yay! Yay! And a future subscriber to our channel.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch for that click.
Yep.
His wife's name is Lula Bowling.
Oh, okay. Didn't notice that.
Couldn't have been named after the town because the town wasn't here.
Right.
He was born in 1866.
Coincidence, or is she the one that the name?
See, there's several stories about who Lula was named after.
Ah, so this is one possibility, eh?
One possibility, yes indeed.
So there's no clear story in how the town was named.
Well, some people say that it was named after the daughter of a railroad official named Lula Finney.
Mm-hmm. And we find a Lula here. That's so over here next to the cemetery is a bit of a farm. Hey, little goats.
There's another goat. 2 of them. 3 of them. 4 of them.
Really small marker there. Pardon us, you guys. We're gonna go see the goats. Hey, goats. Hey, goats. Hey, goats. Hey, goats.
How do you call a goat? Got him on the run. That's not working. We got the goats and then the graveyard. Goats in the graveyard. Cool.
But this was, on this corner was the outhouse and the chicken coop. And this was Thrill Hill that we just came over. The school buses would come flying over there, and everybody with their souped up hot rods would try to catch air and go right over. But that was my grandmother.
This walk. Yeah.
From the past.
So the post office is on the other corner of the block.
Okay.
Up there. The topography has changed a little bit here.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the trains built up over the years as well.
Right.
There was probably a time where you could see right across the street.
Actually, not really. This bank was pretty much the level of the
Oh,
bank.
okay, okay. Because I know in Norcross, some of the old timers would say, you know, we used to be able to see across the street, and then as they build the tracks up.
What was driving us up there? That's 50 years anyway.
Like the post office got a delivery and nobody received it.
All right, let's get down there, Mark. Woo! Got it.
Sally, I replaced that door when I was in high school. I don't know how.
We don't want to step on that then.
I wish if I would.
The windows are boarded up.
Those slots you put your mail in.
Just imagine sitting on this porch and watching the trains go by.
The left side, Sally, was the postal window where you came up to buy your stamps and put packages in and all
Right,
that.
right.
The right side, there was a door directly past this one, about 5 or 6 feet inside
Oh,
there.
oh, okay.
And so that was the door you go back into the back
Okay,
part of the post
okay.
office. And then the boxes were over here on the right-hand side.
Okay, okay.
Now, they weren't nice like the boxes we have today.
No,
with
no.
locks and doors. It was just a lattice work.
Little slat.
Boards.
Yeah, yeah.
And she would pencil the names in on the wood right below the box.
What a neat building. And this is where Mr. Jim would watch the mail get sorted. How old were you? What's the time frame?
That's right. I was 4 or 5.
4 or 5, yep. And you always wanted to go deliver the mail.
Absolutely.
And she would say, no, 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 they'll come in and pick it up.
Yep.
And then
She
slowly
would
the
always-
families would come in.
As
and
she sorted the mail, she said she'd say a little prayer for the family.
That's right. That's right.
As she put the mail in.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
And so I would hear the family name, and that's when I got excited
Yeah.
because Caudell's lived right over there, and I could run over there and tell Miss Caudell that she had a letter.
Yeah.
And Miss Jones lived right back here on the next block, and I thought I could run back there and tell Miss Jones they had a letter. And,
And that was exciting stuff.
It was
Why did you
exciting.
bring it with you?
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. But they would have missed out on the communal coming here and maybe talking for a little bit and everybody finding out everybody's business.
That's right. That's right. This was the gathering. People knew when the train came by and dropped off the mail up here, and it dropped off twice a day. So then my grandmother would go up, pick up the mail in the bag there, bring it back and sort it.
Sort it.
And so people knew if the train went by with had the mail on it, then 30 minutes later they could come by and
Wander
pick
on
their
up
mail.
there and she'd have it all sorted out.
Right.
And you say the steps were there?
Well, now that was the set of steps that was when the post office was in the other building up there.
Okay, I got
It
you.
was in the back of the store for
All right.
a long time. And then, like I said, right after World War II, they moved it over here. And you see that little indentation in the dirt there?
Yeah, yeah.
That was where the steps were. You go up and climb to put the mail in.
Ah,
Right. We
Wow.
climbed the steps to go put the mail up on the table.
cool.
It was in a canvas bag, and she would tie it to the rope and put it up there.
Have a hook and grab it.
That's right. Yep. That hook would grab it, and then the baggage master would flip it inside.
The old post office. And was this Lula?
This was Belton.
This was Belton.
Yes.
This was part of Belton. And when it moved to a different building, that was when the town changed to Lula.
Right.
Right about that same
Changed to
time.
Lula in 1955.
In 1955.
And then, the post office was closed in 1957.
Cool. Awesome. You could just picture people sitting here watching the train go by. The old post office. And was this Lula?
This was Belton.
This was Belton.
Yes.
This was part of Belton. And when it moved to a different building, that was when the town changed to Lula.
Right.
Right about that same
Changed to
time.
Lula in 1955.
In 1955.
And then, the post office was closed in 1957.
Cool. Awesome. You could just picture people sitting here watching the train go by. One could go by now if it wanted to. So we're next to the post office. And in this backyard, this house back here, was the postmaster, Mr. Jim's grandmother on his father's side. And this whole area here was a garden. So sometimes if she was a little slow at the post office, but people wanted a stamp, they'd just see that she wasn't at the post office at the time, and they'd come on over here and find her in that garden, or maybe in her house cooking. This house was not here then. That was the chicken coop area and the outhouse. Two very important things in those days. And we're gonna leave this area. Here's a nice view of the post office. And this is the church that was painted, right?
Yes.
And the name was painted incorrectly. But now it's right again. So it was always Belton with two L's. They had the sign painted, and the guy forgot to add two L's. So for a long time it was B-E-L-T-O-N, and it happened to be right about the time that they were putting street signs up, and those were all misspelled as well. But now it's fixed. Pretty little church here in Lula.
Portion of the old depot that they built in late 30s. And then they discontinued all the passenger service and all that to Lula. The depot was torn down in the mid-60s. And this was a portion of that, which was the office where the tickets were signed. And for some reason they moved it over here onto this portion of the property. And that's been ever since the mid-60s.
Neat. A little building. Nice. The depot is a replica, but the caboose is a
This is a honest to goodness real thing.
honest to goodness old caboose.
Yep.
And you can walk through it, I guess, sometimes.
You can. Actually, it's kind of refurbished everything on the interior. The toilet is still there. That we're
Neat.
looking for the pot-bellied stove that would go in there for heat.
Right.
Yep. but the benches where you can sit at the bay windows and look out and see both sides of the train as you're going up the
Nice.
track.
Cool. Now, did Jaymore Farms contribute some funds? They got a
Jaymore
little
contributes some
advertising
funds-
sign there.
Some funds for the stage.
Nice. So an interesting little side note here in Lula, Georgia. This is a little spring. This spring in Lula feeds to the Oconee River. This is the start of the Oconee River. That's crazy. Right here in a little spring. We're in Lula. It's a little rainy. But if you come up here, there's lots of stuff to do for the children as well. It's a really nice park. Walking trail for the grown-ups. Playground for the kiddos.